This probably isn't your first shave. You already have your first razor. You know how to shave. So we won't waste your time telling you to wash with warm water before putting on a generous layer of shave gel. Instead, we'll show you how to do other things, like how to appreciate your first shave. You already have your first
And since this isn't your first shave,
we wouldn't dream of telling you that our razors are designed to go with and against the grain. You already know that. So we'll show you how to negotiate. And since this isn't your first shave, we'd never in a million years have to tell you to rinse with cold water to refresh your face. Not a chance. Instead, we'll show you how to accept an award. And we're definitely not going to end this video with a girl admiring our guy's smooth shave. No way. But we will show you this beautiful woman just for the heck of it. This isn't your first how to shave video or your first razor, but they're both likely your first real ones. This probably isn't your first shave. You already have your first razor. You know how to shave. So we won't waste your time telling you to wash with warm water before putting on a generous layer of shave gel. Instead, we'll show you how to do other things, like how to appreciate art. This probably isn't your first shave.
And since this isn't your first shave, we wouldn't dream of telling you that our razors are designed to go with
your time
and
telling
against
you
the
to
grain.
wash with warm
You
water
already know
before
that.
putting on a
So
generous
we'll show you
layer of
how to
shave gel.
negotiate.
Instead, we'll show you how to do other things.
And since this isn't your
like
first
how to
shave,
appreciate
we'd never in a
art.
million
This probably
years
isn't
have to
your
tell you
first
to
shave.
rinse
Since
with
this
cold
isn't your
water
first
to refresh your
shave, we wouldn't
face.
dream of telling
Not a
you that our
chance.
razors are designed
Instead,
to go with your
we'll show you
against
how
the
to
grain.
accept
You
an
already
award.
know that. Putting on a
So
generous
we'll show you
layer
how
of
to
shave gel.
negotiate.
And we're definitely not going to end this video with a girl admiring our guy's smooth shave.
We'd never in a
No
million
way.
years have to
But we
tell
will
you
show
to
you
rinse
this
with
beautiful
cold
water
to
just for
refresh
the
your
heck of
face.
it.
Not a chance.
This isn't your first how to shave video or your first razor, but they're both likely your first real ones. And we're definitely not going to end this video with a girl admiring our guy's smooth shave.
Never in a
No
million
way.
years have to
But we
tell
will
you
show
to
you
rinse
this
with
beautiful
cold
water just for the heck of it.
Not a chance.
This isn't your first how to shave video or your first razor, but they're both likely your first real ones. And we're definitely not going to end this video with a girl admiring our guy's smooth shave.
Never in a
No
million
way.
years have to
But we
tell
will
you
show
to
you
rinse
this
with
beautiful
cold
water just for the heck of it.
Not a chance.
This isn't your first how to shave video or your first razor, but they're both likely your first real ones. And we're definitely not going to end this video with a girl admiring our guy's smooth shave.
Never in a
No
million
way.
years have to
But we
tell
will
you
show
to
you
rinse
this
with
beautiful
cold
water just for the heck of it.
Not a chance.
This isn't your first how to shave video or your first razor, but they're both
Very good
likely
Sunday
your
afternoon to all our viewers on www.ThePapare.com, and welcome to Mount Lavinia Science College hosting Isipathana, the title favorites here in the Singer Schools Rugby League. And we are up against a clash of two titanic number 8s here in this match. One in the red shirt, one in the green. Omalka Gunaratna, obviously the
Very good
captain
Sunday afternoon
of
to all
the,
our viewers on
Isipathana team on the right of your screen there.
and welcome
And
to
he's
Mount
trying to
Lavinia
reclaim his
Science
top
College
try
hosting
scorer
Isipathana,
position
the
from
title
Supun
favourites
Manakulasura,
here
the other
in the
Royal
Singer
number 8,
Schools
who
Rugby
has
League.
reclaimed
And we are
that
up
position,
against
maybe
a
even
clash of
temporarily.
two
But
titanic
also we
number
have
8s
Surya
here
Ishan,
in
who is
this
the
match.
captain
One
of the red shirt Science
the
College, who
Omalka
is
Gunaratna
looking to put a
Very good
captain
Sunday
of
afternoon
the
to all our viewers on
Isipathana team on the right of your
ThePapare.com.
screen, to a famous victory over St. Joseph's, and also one against St. Thomas's, which they will be really counting as feathers in their cap, and he'll be hoping to try and pull off an upset victory here. That looks unlikely given the way we saw both teams warming up. Isipathana looking very much like a well-oiled machine, a green machine as they like to call themselves, but we'll wait and see how things turn out. The Science College team on its home ground is a very, very different prospect. Their home crowd is in here, but the Isipathana support also has made its way up from Havelock Park to Mount Lavinia here, and I'm sure we're going to have a right royal battle between these two sides, Isipathana and Science College. Science in the red jerseys have suffered a little bit with a few players being lost, senior players being lost from last year's team, but Lasindu Ishan has really led a bit of a resurgence here, and the team looks really comfortable in against some of the bigger opposition. They almost beat Trinity College here at this very ground, and superb wins, like I said earlier, against St. Joseph's and St. Thomas's as well to write home about. So let's wait and see how this match turns out. But Isipathana will be the overwhelming favourites. They are the only other unbeaten team apart from Royal, who pulled off a superb victory yesterday against St. Peter's, 36 points to 25. Another really exciting game yesterday between St. Thomas's and St. Joseph's as well for the Lady Jayatilaka Trophy, the first match for the PC Angi Trophy, which went for the fourth time it went to the fourth time it was on offer, and it went to Royal College by virtue of that 11-point victory. But St. Joseph's only managed a 2-point victory over St. Thomas's. They were hoping for a big score against the Thomian side, but the Thomians coming through and showing that they're not surrendering the Lady Jayatilaka without a fight, and it ended up 27-25. And you can catch the replays of those matches if you missed them on www.ThePapare.com. You can check out the rugby schools rugby 2015 15 page, and we have all the replays uploaded there. And don't miss either of those games. Very exciting. The Peterite game, of course, 11 tries scored there, 5 for the Peterite, 6 for Royal College, and it was really an outstanding game of rugby. And both teams played some really hard and fast stuff, superb contest at the breakdown, and some really entertaining tries, some which span the length of the field. So excellent work from Royal and Peters, always a fixture to be looked forward to, and this one too will be hoping is a fixture to be looked forward to. Science versus Isipathana, two teams that play a similar brand of rugby. They don't have a culture of being very big with the forwards and playing that 10-man rugby as some other schools have affinity towards, but these guys like to run the ball, and they will be doing just that. Both teams excellent, probably better sevens players than they are 15s players, but that will translate well into running rugby today here at Mount Lavinia. Hot conditions, so you can expect this game to open out in the second half because it's really humid and the sun is beating down on the Science College ground, and we're going to be in for a really hotly contested affair, at least in the first half, and we'll see how it goes from there. No real big changes to the Isipathana side. Rehan Silva at fullback, Visvajit Deshaka and Alavatagura Deshaka has really done a yeoman service for his team in the last couple of outings. Chatra Dilshan is one of their key players, along with Sarat Chandra, who is an outstanding line-out forward. Veerasinghe Kolabage and Omalka Gunaratna in the third row. Gunaratna is Bandara is their number 9 alongside Isuru Kongahawat. Punchiheva on the left wing. Will have to watch out not to get in more yellow cards this season. Isuru, Silva and Fernando along with Gallage and Silva make up that side. So Rankotge drops out of the side for the moment. He's injured, and hopefully he will be back pretty soon. But for Science College, the key players to watch out for the Madhuranka brothers, and of course Dylan Silva on the right wing, and Lasindu Vishan, the captain at number 8. So kicked off by Isuru Kongahawatta and immediately taken up by PhD De Silva, one of the biggest players on the Science College pack, and that's Lasindu Vishan taking it forward. They've got a few big boys in this Science pack, so they will try to mix it up front. Rehan Silva gets a favorable bounce of the ball, steps out of one tackle. Sarat Chandra with a lovely long ball out to Silva. Silva with the cutout pass to Punchiheva, who comes back infield nicely, makes it available. And now Bandara gives it to his fly half. Setting it up in the middle of the park, has options both ways, but goes to Kongahawatta on his left foot. But well covered there by the Science College fullback, Dilshan. Waiting for it is the Science fly half, Niranjan. And he finds good touch, so good opening passage of play there. No stoppages. Referee Pradeep Fernando allowing play to go on. That's good to see. And both teams will test themselves out a little bit early doors. Isipathana will have some respect for this Science College forward pack, of course. Gunaratna, no doubt, knows his opposite number, Lasindu Ishan, very well. He's been part of this Science College side for a good 4 years now. Outstanding player. And hopefully he will have a good game for the sake of this competition, this contest today. So first line out of the game. And the ball to be thrown in by Nisal Deshaka, the hooker cum flanker. Sarat Chandra is the obvious target. He has been really good in the lineouts this year. Science defend that maul well. Don't give it any room to get started. Kongahawatta with the cutout pass. Fernando stepping back inside, and Rehan Silva joins the line. Now Punchiheva. He's got some space, cutting back inside. Beautifully, Punchiheva still going, still going. Great work from the little wing three-quarter. Stepping back on his left foot, beating several defenders. And they're over for the first try of the game, Isipathana. No, they're not. It's a penalty. Was held up. So the referee will come back for the penalty. The Isipathana forwards thought they had barged themselves over, but it was not to be. And Rehan Silva will confidently tap and go. They thought they caught Science napping, but Science managing to defend that. Rehan Silva faked the kick to the line. And once again, it's held up, so they'll come back for a 5-meter scrum. Exciting passage of play, but Science well attuned to that fake from Rehan Silva, who made it look like he was going for the line with the touch kick, but instead, with a quick tap, tried to send his player in under the posts. And if you're a betting man, you can bet your bottom dollar that Omalka Gunaratne is going to go out from the base of this scrum. He's pretty much unstoppable from 20 meters out, so from 5 meters out, this should be bread and butter for him, but let's wait and see what the Science defense has in store. Niranjan will have to make a big tackle here. And he goes on the open side. Omalka Gunaratne, as we've seen him do so many times before this season, manages to get the ball back in. And Science have turned it over. That's excellent work from them. Brilliant defense. As we see Madhumadava thump this down the field. Rehan Silva finds Gallagher, the right winger, already a helter-skelter start to this game. Gallagher goes right across the pitch. Fernando slips, regains his feet. And now the penalty is coming again for Isipathana. Not coming through the gate, says referee Fernando. And the desperate defense of the Science College team just a little too eager. But excellent defense from them on the line. Omalka Gunaratne scores those tries 9 times out of 10, but Science did really well to snag him. Really good condition both these teams are in physically. A lot of strength in this front 5 for both teams. Sarat Chandra and Alavatagora, probably 2 of the biggest men for Isipathana. And Lashinda Vishan is not a small man himself. So Isipathana with the line out have put in 2 of their big forward runners into the pack. Gunaratne along with Veerasinghe. Sarat Chandra quickly off the top. Good line out from Isipathana. Kongahawatta fakes, gets hammered in midfield. That was a beautiful tackle from Dilshan, but the ref's got his arm out again. Doesn't matter though, because the ball is still with Isipathana. Fernando sending the dummy. Coming back in field, it's still available. It's dropped though this time, and Bandara gives it to Fernando. Fernando with the long cutout ball to Gallagher. Gallagher tries to beat his opposite number to the line. And Kongahawatta brings it back inside. This is exciting stuff. Unstructured but exciting. Chatura Dilshan. This is really aggressive defense from Science College. And now Rehan Silva at first receiver with a nice short ball out. But losing his footing is the Isipathana player. And it's turned over beautifully once again by De Silva. And now Kavinda comes away with it. Viranga Kavinda for Science College, but the referee says it's been knocked on. And although Isipathana are applying all the pressure here, Science College are holding on grimly. But they can't defend like this for the duration of the 80 minutes. They'll have to make sure they get the ball in hand. But despite several opportunities, Isipathana are yet to score. So Fernando has seen plenty of the ball in the number 13 position. Chamud Fernando. Gunaratne loses his footing once again. Makes the ball available though. His supporting players pile in after it, and Bandara with a slow pass out to Nishal Desaka. Madhuranga does excellently well there to rip the ball away from Nishal Desaka. And Science College have turned this one over again, and Madhumadava puts in a long kick. Now the chase is on. And fantastic defense there from Science College. They were really under the cosh right from the start. And the referee has come back for a penalty. And Niranjan or Madhuranga will look to put this one into touch. They gained about 55 meters on the last kick, but with this kick they will have the line out ball, so that's why the referees called it back. Good advantage played there by referee Fernando. Madhuranga may not get the same distance, but at least he'll get the ball. Well, he doesn't find touch, and that's the problem sometimes with the second bite of the cherry. It's not as big as the first. Omaka Gunaratna fielding that one and sending a long ball out to Rehan Silva. Good tackling again there. Dylan Silva coming in off the left wing where he plays with the number 14 jersey. Dylan Silva on Dylan Gallagher. Big hit there. The two Dylans colliding. And it will be really interesting to see the ball go out to these two wingers. They're all eager to run. Sarat Chandra jumping right across the gap of that line out, but referee Fernando allowing it to go on. So Isipathana have stolen this one. Chatra Dilshan lays it back. Good counter rock by Science College there. Excellent work. But it looks like they've lost their feet, and that's a shame because they picked the exact right moment to attack that ruck. Good battle at the breakdown here. Science College have shown that they've done their homework. Probably need to go to a shortened line out, Science College. Against Sarat Chandra and throw to where he isn't. Rehan Silva finding good touch deep in the opposition 22. And Isipathana will try and slow this game down a little bit. It's been 100 to the dozen since we kicked off. And they'll probably try and set that rolling maul up that was so well defended a little while earlier. It's a player down by the looks of things, and referee Fernando calling for medical assistance. Looks like it's Sarat Chandra who's in a bit of strife. Isipathana can afford to lose anybody but him, really. And don't forget that today's broadcast is also brought to you by Gillette Mark III. The 10th shave of a Gillette Mark III is still more comfortable than the first of a disposable. That's what we are reliably informed. And Sarat Chandra recovers quickly enough to win that ball beautifully at the front of the line out. Isipathana get the drive going. That's what they tried to do a few minutes earlier. They finally got it going forward. Gunaratna controls at the back. And it's come out now through Kongahavatta to Isuru Silva. Silva with the long cutout ball to Rehan Silva, who goes over for the first try. A lovely fend by Rehan Silva. Good support line run by Punchiheva, who drew the defense outside. And Silva does well with the long cutout ball that Isuru Silva provided to him. And it all came from the driving maul in the line out. Really sucked in the defenders there, so there's no one covering. And Rehan Silva goes over for a well-deserved try for Isipathana. They've tried very hard to score this try. And now that they finally got it, it might settle them down a little. But Science shouldn't allow this to set them back. They defended excellently. And this is one area of the game that Isipathana have really improved in. Isuru Kongahavatta has been working really hard on his kicking. And that try is converted. We had a time in the early part of the season that Isipathana couldn't convert a single try that they scored. So they only had to rely on tries, not kicking any penalties. But that's all changed, and Kongahavatta now seems much more competent with the boot. And that'll hold them in good stead going into some of the closer games that they have coming up against Trinity and Royal. Madhuranga hasn't really seen the ball much as he restarts the game. He'll be hoping to get the ball in his hands, but not if he does that more of that. It's drifted out into touch on the full, and Gunaratna will either ask for the line out on the 50-meter mark, or he'll come back for the scrum. And surprisingly, Gunaratna opting for the line out option. Most captains would take the scrum in the center field, but Gunaratna, knowing how strong his line out is and how good his maul is, wants to make sure he perfects it before the big Royal test coming up in a couple of weeks. Well, they go to the back there. It was maybe overthrown. And Bandara gives it to Kongahavatta. Good tackle on Ishan Silva from his opposite number, Madhuranga, who stayed down in the contact. Alavatta got to access scrum half. Nisal Deshaka with a good line break. Now it's quick available ball to Kongahavatta. Puts in the deep kick. Punchiheva loves to chase. In trouble here is the Science fullback, but he's given it to Dylan Silva now. And he's a danger man for the Science team. Still going. Good tackle on him by Gallagher eventually. And Science confidently running that out of trouble. The only problem they've got is that Tarindu Madhuranga has stayed down in that contact with Ishan Silva. Think he may have knocked his head, and that's not a good sign, so he'll have to maybe go off for a concussion test. Kushan Indunil Silva. And the Science bench will be very worried about this because Madhuranga is one of their key players. And he looks a bit groggy getting up. And don't forget, you can always catch the action on the Singer Schools Rugby League and everything else really in Sri Lankan sports if you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or even Google+. Just click the icon and follow ThePapare.com. Madhuranga coming off for a concussion test. Hopefully he'll be able to make it back. And according to the new rules, he can be substituted for 10 minutes. Rehan Silva. Oh, that's a great break from Gallagher, who finds his way into the open side line. And Veera Singh dives over for the try. So Isipathana showing that now that the nerves are settled, they're more than happy to go back to business as usual. And just the gap that was left by Madhuranga a few moments ago in the outside center channel was exploited by Dylan Gallagher, who popped in from the right side wing onto the left side. And completely unseen, hit that ball at pace, pierced the defensive line, and after that it was a good flanker's angle from Veera Singh to score that try, the second try for Isipathana. And Kongahavatta will have a touchline conversion to test his improved kicking abilities. And it's over. He's passed the test with flying colors. And he runs back to his teammates with a massive smile on his face. That's a marked difference from the looks on the Isipathana kickers' faces from maybe about 3 or 4 rounds ago. And the one real Achilles heel that was present in their side now seems to have been fixed. Madhuranga still recovering from that hit on the touch lines. He'll be waiting to make it back. It's knocked forward, says the referee, and Lasindu Ishan gets his hands on it for the first time, but we'll have to come back. First time really that Science College have made it into the Isipathana half. They'll want to try and spend some time here in the opposition territory. They've been defending furiously for the last 20 minutes or so, and they've conceded 2 tries. Not hooked, says referee Fernando. Real pressure coming from Science College in that front row. So Science have not made their substitution yet. That means they're playing with a man down in the line. Bandara trying to step his way out of trouble, but gets caught in the process. And it's a looping pass to Kongahavatta, who still has enough time. And now Dylan Silva goes outside Punchiheva, who manages to get just a little bit of space. Dylan Silva needs to get the ball inside. And it's knocked forward, unfortunately, for Science. But Dylan Silva switching wings there. And Isuru Kongahavatta gets onto his left boot. And Lasindu Ishan screaming for it from Niranjan. Lovely break from Dilshan, and now Madhuranga almost over in the corner. The younger of the Madhuranga brothers, Niranjan. Lovely ball to PHDL De Silva. Does he have the strength to take him over? That's a huge tackle. A massive tackle by Isipathana in defense. Madhu Madhava looks for support. There's nobody there though. Niranjan needs to get in position. But straight through on the angle comes an Isipathana defender. And now Dilshan gives it to his flanker, Isuru Kongahavatta, with the tackle, but he was in an offside position. The referee will come back for the first penalty. And the ref is having a chat with Omaka Gunaratna and saying that he's not happy with the offside positioning of the defensive line and giving a warning to the Isipathana team. So Science showing that they're dangerous with the ball in hand. And Lasindu Ishan very sensibly pointing to the posts. It's only 14-0 and you have to chip away at a lead. It's much too early to throw caution to the winds and try and score tries. So Ishan very sensibly slowing this game down, and despite the fact that their number 1 kicker is still recovering from a knock to the head, they've gone for the kick, and Niranjan will be the man who's entrusted to get the first 3 points for Science College. A hush over the grounds, and the kick is good, so 3 points to Science. And the first time they've made it to the opposition 22, they come away with points. A superb run from Dylan Silva in the number 14 jersey for Science College, creating that try. Creating those points, rather. Beat his opposite number, Punchiheva, and profited from a slip from the cover defense to get deep into opposition territory. Isuru Kongahavatta gets that underway, and Dylan Silva now with a little bit more confidence. Isipathana committing numbers to that breakdown. And have turned the ball over. That was not running into their support by Science College. But they managed to win the penalty. Gunaratna being summoned again. And referee Fernando telling him that it's too many penalties. Isuru Kongahawat claims that. Gives it to Rehan Silva. Rehan Silva with a nice raking kick down the field for Dilshan to chase. And Dilshan steps inside. It's a dangerous ball that he gives to Madhuranga, who manages to control it well. But should he have cleared that, as Niranjan is about to do, straight down the throat of Chatura Dilshan. And Dilshan, the big ball carrier for Isipathana, goes straight and hard, as he knows very well how to do. And here's Alawatu Goda, the biggest man on the park, bumping off the first tackle, but not the second. Here comes Kongahawat. Omalka Gunaratna on the lovely angle. Beats the first tackle. Dragged down though by Kavind. And now it's available for Kongahawat, who gets hammered again by the defense of Science College. Madhuranga. Bandara it was who got smashed there by Science, but the defense was offside, says the referee. Sabir tells me a technical detail that Madhuranga cannot be temporarily substituted because the law will be effective only from the 1st of August this year. And the governing body here in Sri Lanka, the Schools Rugby Federation, has not sanctioned the temporary substitution for 10 minutes if it's a concussion test. Don't forget, you can check out the ThePapare as well for the junior rugby players and players of any sport. And this is their platform as well. Science College, I don't know what they're doing, trying to run this one. But running themselves only into trouble. Should have tried to clear that and get out of the red zone. Still very early in the first half, and Niranjan now gives a very easy ball for Galdage to attack with. And Rehan Silva will look for his captain on his left, comes around him. And Omalka gets his hands free nicely for Punji Hever to cut back in field with those dancing feet. And here's a good burst onto the ball. Isipathana still have it available. Kongahawat, but that's good defense by Madhuranga. Ball knocked forward. And Science College live to breathe another day. Good defense there from Science. Really good defense. Madhuranga ran up. He left his line and ran up really fast. And that was pretty much a try-saving tackle there by the younger of the Madhuranga brothers. But you can see the Science team, the defense that they've been doing, they're absolutely knackered here. Several of them on their hands and feet. Their hands on their knees, sucking in the big ones. It's been a really testing time for them, and they can count themselves, they can pat themselves on the back, I should say, that they're only 14-3 down at this point. Isipathana have thrown wave after wave of attack at them. But Science have still not drowned under this green tidal wave that has been throwing itself at their line. They're still defending stoutly. But the dam will burst at some point if they can't get their hands on the ball and move to the opposition territory. It's a defensive scrum for Science. And the referee gives a penalty very correctly, I think, there, because Science were defending that ball deep in their 22, and they were trying to withhold the Isipathana shove that continued sideways and upwards. And the referee penalizing that very correctly because it's dangerous play sometimes. And Niranjan clears that ball long, but not the greatest touch finder. And Science will try and get maybe crossfield behind Punchiheva and try to find some distance on a kick. The ball goes missing and it's made a reappearance now. And as we were saying earlier, Science going for the shorter line out. That's much better from them. Niranjan looking to run this one. And Isipathana defense up really quickly. PhDL De Silva was not held in a tackle, so he gets up and goes. And now Niranjan will go for the kick. Deep behind Gallagher, but it looks like it's in touch on the full. So a couple of mistakes out of the hand from Science College. And on their home ground, you'd expect them not to make these mistakes. They know the conditions. They know where the wind is blowing from. And it's behind them at the moment, I would think. Whatever little wind there is, not a lot here. It's very hot and humid at Science College grounds, Mount Lavinia. And that's a really bad miss from Science. They're doing some things really well, but with the ball in hand, they're not as good as they are in defense, and the maul breezes forward, but without the ball for Isipathana, who have turned this one over, but referee says there's been an infringement. Taking it to ground, I think the referee says, or joining the maul incorrectly, one of the two. And they'll try and set that maul up again. And when you watch Isipathana doing the maul, you watch another team doing the maul, you can see how good that Royal College rolling maul is. Because it's not the easiest thing in the world to set it up, but Royal do it like it's a walk in the park. But Science have been good today in defending it. Tichuru Kongahawatha takes it off the top. Chamod Fernando slips. And Kongahawatha coming around as a second line of attack. Bandara now gives it to his forward runner, Columbage. Yes, Alawathagoda does well. And the referee says holding on, so good weight. Lasindu Vishan, that was, who got over the ball. In fact, it was MCJ Silva who got over that ball there and tried to effect the turnover, forcing the penalty from Isipathana. And Niranjan, for the third time, misses touch. That's a real criminal error from Niranjan. Rehan Silva runs straight into Madhusankar, who has been outstanding in defense so far for Science. Kongahawatha leaves it behind for his opposition. And now Columbage cuts back on the angle. Kongahawatha now looks, gives it to Omalka Gunaratna. Gunaratna to Silva. Silva waits for Kushan. Indunil to on the inside pass to Punchiheva, but there's an obstruction there. It looks like Madhuranga won't be able to take his place. In fact, he has gone back on Madhuranga with a scrum cap. Not sure why he's not taking the kicks. Maybe he's still a little bit out of it. So finally, Niranjan finding some touch, but still inside his own half. Science go to the back and win this one well. Now they set up a driving maul of their own. And here goes Lasindo Vishan. Lovely offload to Karuna, to Laksara. And now Science College with their tails up finally. Madhu Madhava. Here's Dilshan in the line, manages to get outside of Chamod Fernando, who recovers to make the tackle. Niranjan. Big hit there on Ishan. Here's the captain. Coming back infield is Ayesh Mantha. And oh, that ball is intercepted but left behind by Kongawatha. Ishuru Kongawatha almost had that ball. And he had a free run in for 60 meters under the posts, but just didn't have it in the breadbasket. But Science College showing that they can be dangerous with the ball in hand. Players desperate for water here. Can't tell you how hot it is out here in Mount Lavinia. And don't forget that while we are here covering these games, we'll bring you some still pictures as well, all of which you can see on our ThePapare.com site, on all our galleries. And all those pictures that are uploaded there are available for purchase on ThePapare.com. Just get in touch with us on the contact details on the ThePapare website, the homepage, and we'll be happy to give you all the images you need. Players getting a well-earned break, but sadly, it looks like one of the big props for Science. Looks like he might have to come off. Looks like it's Viranga Kavinda, and that will be a real shame if he has to come off, because he's been a good ball carrier for them. Big lad, but it looks like he's suffered a blow to his hand. Subasinghe has gone in as the substitute. And Dylan Silva finds himself in the line, almost breaks through the first line of defense. Hanging on by his fingernails was Chamod Fernando. But again, a needless penalty given away by Science with the ball in hand. They're much better defensively than they are with the ball. And that's a real shame. Dylan Silva brought in off his right side wing and injected into the midfield. Real burst of pace there from him. But just not enough, as Science concede another penalty, and Rehan Silva will gratefully give his team an opportunity to take a breather. Approaching the halftime break here, and it's not the route that some people may have expected. It's only 14 points to 3 here in Mount Lavinia, and Isipathana playing against the Sun at the moment. Can wait and see whether Kongawatha will try and exploit the Sun in the eyes of his opposite number, Dilshan. Sarat Chandra has been really excellent in the line out this year. Can't keep saying enough about it. Isipathana drive this small forward, and that's not gone forwards. The referee has to say use it. That's the first time. Still going now. Still going. Still going. And that's not gone forward again, so they have to use it now. And if that doesn't come out, it's got to go the other way. Sorry, but I think that the referee should have blown that up and given the ball to the other team because it's not come out. It stopped twice. And that's the rule. If it stops twice, 5 minutes for 5 seconds. Chamod Fernando recovers that ball, but referee back for the penalty for offside. They were offside while the ball was in the maul, I think. But that ball was well defended, that maul rather, was well defended again by Science, who drove it back twice. And if that stops going forward, then the referee has to say use it. If they don't use it, it can go forward and stop one more time. But if it stops the second time and doesn't come out, and it didn't come out for a while, it should have gone to, it should have been a scrum to the opposition team. You have to give the defense some ability to stay in the game against that rolling maul. We may try it again here. Sarat Chandra again beautifully at the front. He has remained the only option in the line out though. That may be something that they have to think about going forward. Have a few variations. Kongahawatta, Chamod Fernando, Rehan Silva cuts back in on the angle, stays strong, the young fullback. He was held, tried to get up, and that's the correct call from referee Fernando. He was held in the tackle, so he couldn't try and get up again without placing the ball. Well spotted there. And Niranjan this time doesn't make a mistake with touch. But the game has been pretty much 80% played in the opposition half. And don't forget that this broadcast is brought to you by Gillette Mark III. The 10th shave of a Gillette Mark III is still more comfortable than the first ever disposable. Valgamage to throw into this line out. And he goes to the back. And despite the best efforts of Madhusankar, the ball falls in between both players, both sets of players, and so knock forward going Isipathana away, and it's just before half time. Isipathana will want to try and score one to just underline their dominance in this first half. They haven't scored a try for a while. 2 quick tries through Veerasinghe and Rehan Silva early on. And now as the sun goes behind a cloud, happily, for us at least, Isipathana will look to take advantage of that momentary coolness to inject some heat into their attack. It's a lovely blindside for Gunaratna, who has really cut down on his breaking from the back. But he's bound in channel 1, so maybe we can expect him this time to pick up and go. But no, in fact, it's Bandara who gives it to Kongahawatta. Kushan. Rehan Silva runs straight. And Punchi Heva should have really been supporting a little bit flatter, but instead was toying with the idea of coming back inside. And they've managed to spread it back from left to the center. And now Bandara will go right. Kongahavatta with a nice little pop pass to Gunaratna, who thunders forward. And now Kongahavatta again. Science piling into that breakdown. Play on, says the ref. And it looks like they've turned it over, have they? Not yet. But it's not clean ball for Isipathana. Good defense there by Science. And the referee says time off. Wants to have a chat with some of the players. And it looks like it's a no arms tackle. So are we seeing our first card of the game? Oh, yes, we are. PHDL De Silva, one of the chief ball carriers for Science, one of the biggest men in their scrum. And that's a big blow for Science because they've already lost MCJ Silva, one of their experienced front rowers. And PHDL Silva now finds his way on the bench and taking advantage of that is Isipathana attacking quickly. Here's Rehan Silva at first receiver. Pops it inside. And Chamot Fernando makes his way over the try line. It was always coming for Isipathana. There was just too much for Science College to hold on to, especially with the man short. And before they could recover from that yellow card, which they were still reeling from, Isipathana attacked quickly. And scored through Nishal Desaka. In fact, sorry, it was Chamot Fernando, the outside center, who managed to score that try. Staring into the sun here in our commentary position as well. So 19 points to 3 it stands. 21 points to 3 with the conversion to come. And it's just wide, so it stays at 19-3. And that's the welcome halftime break. And as I was saying, Isipathana really wanted to score just before the half to land that psychological blow, which they have done now. But Science College will start the second half with one of their big men in the bin and another one injured and out of the game. So let's wait and see how the second half turns out. Hopefully it will be a little cooler. And Science College will have a little bit more ball. They've looked promising with the ball in hand. But Isipathana have been playing all the rugby in the opposition half so far. It's been great defense from Science to hold Pathana to only 3 tries in that first 40 minutes. But we'll see whether the dam bursts in the next 40 as we come back on ThePapare.com.
You already have your first razor. You know how to shave. So we won't waste your time telling you to wash with warm water before putting on a generous layer of shave gel. Instead, we'll show you how to do other things, like how to appreciate art. And since this isn't your first shave, we wouldn't dream of telling you that our razors are designed to go with and against the grain. You already know that. So we'll show you how to negotiate. And since this isn't your first shave, we'd never in a million years have to tell you to rinse with cold water to refresh your face. Not a chance. Instead, we'll show you how to accept an award. And we're definitely not going to end this video with a girl admiring our guy's smooth shave. No way. But we will show you this beautiful woman just for the heck of it. This isn't your first how to shave video or your first razor, but they're both likely your first real ones. shave. You already have your first razor. You know how to shave. So we won't waste your time telling you to wash with warm water before putting on a generous layer of shave gel. Instead, we'll show you how to do other things, like how to appreciate art. And since this isn't your first shave, we wouldn't dream of telling you that our razors are designed to go with and against the grain. You already know that, so we'll show you how to negotiate. And since this isn't your first shave, we'd never in a million years have to tell you to rinse with cold water to refresh your face. Not a chance. Instead, we'll show you how to accept an award. And we're definitely not going to end this video with a girl admiring our guy's smooth shave. No way. But we will show you this beautiful woman just for the heck of it. This isn't your first how to shave video or your first razor, but they're both likely your first real ones.
Welcome back to ThePapare.com as we bring you live pictures from the second half of Science College versus Isipathana. It's 19 points to 3 to the title favorites in the green shirts. Science with a man down in the bin, Damin the Lakshita, their big second row. For a no-arms tackle, still in the bin, and he'll be there for about another 9 minutes. But Omalka Gunaratna coming away with the ball from MCJ Silva. And now the first real big run from the captain. He gives an offload off the back of his hand. And Bandara didn't expect that. And the ball drops. MCJ Silva set off on a big run. But Omalka Gunaratna showing that you don't sometimes need to go for the man. You can just take the ball off him. Breeze through for his first real burst of this game. And now there's a nice blind side. But it's on the left for Lasinda Vishan if you'd want to use it. Taken by Ishan quickly. And for the first time we're seeing Pereira, the number 12, getting his hands on the ball. Columbage gives away the penalty for Isipathana, and Lasinda Vishan's team have started the second half much better than they started the first. Niranjan has not really been very good with his touch finders. The usual kicker Madhuranga suffered a head knock early on in the game. So he's been relinquished of kicking duties. Good work from Science in that line out. They get that rolling maul going, and referee has got his hands up for the penalty, an incorrect entry. Referee Fernando's had a very good game so far. And the Science maul keeps driving forward. Madhu Madhava gives the ball out to ANU Pereira. Good tackle made by Konga Havatta. Timely tackle, and Madhu Madhava now with the dive pass. But it goes behind his player Dilshan, who tries to wriggle out of trouble, but they've lost a good 30 meters here. That's a real shame. But now Madhu Madhava tries to snipe his way through the middle. That gap closes quickly, and now Niranjan gives it to Madhuranga. And Science College win themselves a penalty. So it's been a good passage of play since the second half began for Science. They've kept the ball in hand. And if they can get a score on the board and come to 19-10, that'll give them much more confidence. It hasn't been the best performance from the Greens so far this season, but I have to say they're only playing as well as Science College are allowing them to play. Science have really piled in defense, contested all the breakdowns, and not allowed the big ball carriers like Chatura Dilshan and Omalka Gunaratna to have a free rein. Science opting for the full line out this time. And well stolen there by Sarat Chandra. In the middle of the line out for Isipathana. It was nicely worked by Science, but just a very good first time jump as Konga Havatta thumps this one into touch. It's out on the full. It was taken back into the 22, and Konga Havatta, being the left footer, had to come back to the near side. So Science now with a real opportunity. But they've got to catch the line out ball first, and if Sarat Chandra has anything to do with it, he'll try and get in the way. Mauling their way forward. Science College giving Isipathana a dose of their own medicine. Madhu Madhava. This is ANU Pereira. Pereira ghosting his way through the middle there. And now it's quick ball available now for Dilshan. Dilshan gives it to Dylan Silva. That was a superb tackle on him by Dylan Gallagher, who left his wing. Madhu Madhava may have run his way out of his support. But the referees come back for the penalty. For offside. Lasindu Ishan takes it quickly. Is the captain over? Yes, he is. This is a great start to the second half by Science College. Captain Lasindu Ishan thought my team has defended beautifully. Let me try and do something for them with the ball in hand. And the big number 8 wearing the number 23 jersey that Michael Jordan and Shane Warne and a lot of other people have worn very successfully. Barged his way over from close quarters to give Science College an opportunity to get within 10. Niranjan with a very important conversion attempt here. And it's just wide. And it's 19 points to 8, which is a shame for Science because it could have been 19-10. It looks like the first half head knock casualty has left the field. Madhuranga, one of their key players in the number 13 jersey, has left the field and been replaced. We'll tell you by whom in just a few moments. It's a long kick to the back by Chatra, by Isuru Kongahawatha rather. Tackle was around the chest, says referee Fernando from Nishal Desaka. Beautifully taken and read by Isuru Kongahawatha. Omalka Gunaratna supporting him like a good number 8 forward. He is dragged down after he'd made 20 meters. Excellent defense by Science College there. Really good defense there on Omalka. And now they've set the ball up for Niranjan to have a kick. And he finds space in behind Isuru Kongahawatha, and Rehan Silva runs onto the bouncing ball. Now Dylan Gallagher. Gallagher for the first time in this game. Runs himself out of trouble, and now Chamud. And now here's the man Veera Singh. Is he going in for his second try of the game? Yes, he is. Veera Singh scores his second. And you can see how dangerous they are from broken field. Gallagher drifted, and we thought he'd run out of space. And he gave it back inside to Chamud Fernando rather, not Patirana, he's a cricketer. And Veera Singh running a lovely support angle. Took the inside pass and had his way 30 meters for a try. It's a good day for him because he scored 2 tries and it's not often that flankers get to do that. Superb work by Isipathana to hit back just after they had conceded a try. And that's the time that most teams are very vulnerable. But not Isipathana, they've hit back. Replied very quickly. Science will... a lovely kick from Isuru Kongahawatha again. He's converted from the left touchline and now from the right touchline. And the Pathanians will be very happy with this because it means that they can take penalties if they need to win the game. And Damin the Lakshan is back on the park. after his 10 minutes in the sin bin. Good kickoff that time, but straight to the most dangerous man on the pitch, Omarka Gunaratne. Now Bandara lays it back for Kongahawatha, who puts it across the field. Has this found touch? Yes, it has. It's an excellent kick from Isuru Kongahawatha. When he wants to control the game, he does so beautifully by just putting the ball into the corners. Can see that Isipathana have been given a shot in the arm by that try that Science scored, realizing that they can't afford to relax at all in this game. Ayush Mantha was lifted, but he was lifted early. And now, obviously, Isipathana will know what the line-out call is going to be. But it goes to Ayush Mantha once again. And it's not straight. And Laksara went off on a run, but the referee has given the option to Isipathana for a scrum or line out. And again, somewhat unconventionally, Isipathana have opted to take the line out. Can see that they want to get the line out right. They know that the Science scrum is a good part of their game. Sarat Chandra again beautifully in the front. Protects the ball so well. That ball's, well, it's gone straight to ground. I think that was a bit harsh. I don't think Science made a real effort to bring that one down, but beautiful angle by Punchi Heva. Dances through the line. And scores. The little wing three-quarter has had plenty of the ball in this game. But the way he ran onto that inside ball and mesmerized the defense was really outstanding. Punchi Heva, you can hear his teammates calling him Anda. Anda, which means eels which are slippery. You can see why. Science ringing the substitutions. Veerasinghe has gone on, as has Fonseca, replacing Walgamage. We'll tell you who else has come off as soon as we get that information. Kongahawatha's conversion is not good this time. You can see the body language for the Science College team has dropped a little bit as soon as they walk onto the park. You'll see that, and as they come onto your screen. The gas has given out, and it was bound to happen, especially given how furiously they were defending. Laksara has gone off. In fact, Madhusanka has gone off, and he was replaced by Veerasinghe. Omarka Gunaratne takes the restart, fights to stay on his feet. Not releasing in the tackle. Good show of camaraderie there, sportsmanship between the two captains. Healthy mutual respect between these two very good players, Lasindu Ishan and Omarka Gunaratne. Ref wants to have a word on the advice of the touch Dinka Pires. with Ayush Mantha. Not sure what the infringement was, but he gets a lecture and doesn't contest it too much. So referee doesn't do anything about that. He doesn't take any action. He just gives a warning to the players. And Rehan Silva finds touch. Not sure whether that would have been better taken by a left-footed kicker on this right side touchline. The Konga opts out of taking the touch kicks, just the conversions. And Isipathana will now walk into the line out. Columbage is the number 7, marking the 5-meter line. And it's a shortened line out, 5 men. Sarat Chandra almost stolen there. Came off the hand of Ayush Mantha. So that's why the scrum has gone Isipathana away. Good contest though by Science, putting some pressure on Nishal Desaka, who has been quiet today. Alavatugoda has been told that he's got to go off for blood. He's not going off. He's just referee Fernando is not having any of it. He says, please go and get that attended to. And Alavatugoda is having some ice stuffed in his mouth. And number 83, Vikash Vimadeva, goes onto the park. He's got number 3 on his jersey, but Isipathana have very resourcefully and inventively put a plaster across the 0 and made it 83. Great work there by Madhu Madhava. Kicks the ball out of the hands of Bandara. Herring after it are the Science College threes. And now Dilshan takes it beautifully. Looking for some support, still going. Good work from Dilshan there. And now it's available for Niranjan. Niranjan to the new man has gone in, Rohan. Rohan replaced Madhuranga. But unfortunately, there's been a knock-on for Science and they will lose this ball. Dilshan took that beautifully. He's been one of the better players for Science this afternoon. Unfortunately, that head knock for Madhuranga has really created problems for them. He's the man who does a lot of the out-of-hand kicking for Science College. One of the senior men leads the line. And his absence has created a few problems, although his brother has slotted in to the number 13 position and Rohan has gone to the right wing. Dylan Silva, the dangerous number 14, hasn't really seen much of the ball as the referee awards a free kick and retreats 10 meters as well. Lasan Divishan now almost bundling his way over the line. Yeah, here's the captain once again with the ball at the back. And it's a try. No, the referee said time off. It's held up. Oh, he needs to have a chat with his touch judge. Ishan doesn't seem too confident. But the touch judge on the far side will come in and have a word. And it's a try. So Lashindu Ishan gets his second. And you can see that Science College with the ball in hand are a very dangerous team. The captain knew exactly what he was doing when he took that short tap. Waited a couple more phases. And attacked the ball. When it was the right time. And Niranjan is faced with a difficult conversion here. He hasn't been having a good day with the boot. Out of hand or off the tee. The scores are inverted now. It's 31-13. And the conversion is good. Just as I say, he's been having an off day with his boot. He thumps one off an acute angle. Off the right touchline. Excellent kick there. So it's 31-15. A 16-point gap, which two scores will chase down, but Isipathana, we'll see how they react to this. They reacted really well when they were under pressure against St. Joseph's early on this season. Reacted well against St. Peter's as well. We'll see what they can do. Chatura, the fullback, with a lovely ball to Madhuranga, the younger Madhuranga. But he gets smashed in an excellent tackle and is forced to knock the ball on. But Dilshan, the fullback, has been outstanding today for Science. He's had a lot of work to do moving laterally. But he's played his part in attack as well. And the younger Madhuranga, just 16 years old, playing his first season of first 15 rugby, will be much better for this experience, I'm sure. Alavadagode desperate to come back onto the park. As you can see, Vikash, the blood bin replacement, comes off. And Alavadagode, the big man, moves back to the open side alongside his buddy Vishwajit in the number 1 jersey. And Nishal Desaka. The hooker cum flanker. Good scrum there by Isipathana, and Omalka goes off the back, steps his way out of 2 tackles. New Pereira drags him down. He's beaten 5 defenders already, and he takes his own bootlaces to trip him up. Good ball there by Kongahawatta to Kushan. Indunil, and Bandara's over. Is he? No, he's not yet. Now they are. And this is what I was talking about. Isipathana, it looks like Chatura Dilshan is the man who scored. It is Dilshan, but it was thanks to a beautiful dummy from Bandara, the little scrum half. And this is what I was talking about. Isipathana reacting to scores that they concede. And they've done that really well this season. Whatever the opposition, even against Science now, they've conceded 2 tries and scored almost immediately off the kickoff. And that's the sign of a champion side that can react to conceding. We saw Royal yesterday as well reacting to St. Peter's. So this is setting itself up to be a brilliant season so far for both these teams, Royal and Isipathana. And that clash on the 20th is going to be an outstanding encounter for sure. Especially now with Isru Kongahawatta's newfound prowess with the boot. He's missed just a couple of kicks this season. Oh, and that's a great one also. An outstanding kick from Kongahawatta. The smile on his face is just as big as the gap on the scoreboard. 38 points to 15, and although Science are down by a lot on the scoreboard, they've been really brave here in their defense of this well-oiled green machine. Niranjan kicks off, and Ayush Mantha with a good chase. Recovered well by the Science follow-up players. And Lasindu Ishan takes it forward. The skipper has been leading from the front today, and he's won a penalty for his team. Niranjan. Kushan Indunil very quickly up off his line in defense. The referee looked like he'd given a penalty earlier, but The knock forward is what he comes back for. It's been tough conditions here for the players, but it's been tough conditions for us here in the press box as well, especially due to the lack of a press box. And that's not just an issue here at Science College. It was a massive issue yesterday at St. Peter's and at CRNFC as well. We are forced to call the game from very disadvantageous positions. Usually the cameras have the best seat in the house, but it's not been the case so far in this Singer School season, and hopefully that will change. And we are able to bring all of you watching at home and watching overseas the best possible pictures and coverage of these games on ThePapare.com, and we need the cooperation of the schools for that. As we see two changes being made, Kolombege coming off to be replaced by Mapitigama, and Sarat Chandra is the other man who comes off. Sarat Chandra replaced by Ekanayaka. And kicking the ball through again is little Madhu Madhava, the scrum half for Isipathana, but Rehan Silva recovers well. The penalty is coming, but the referee will have a word with Lasindu Vishan, and it looks like there's a card coming as well. That'll be a real problem if they lose their captain. Not really sure what happened there. Looked like it was a stamp. And it's a yellow card for the skipper. That's a shame. And don't forget that Gillette Mark III brings you this broadcast. And the 10th shave from a Gillette Mark III is better than the first from a disposable razor. Bit of foul play from Lasindu Vishan there. That's not a good way to cap his performance in this game. He scored 2 tries. And it's unnecessary blot on his performance. Well won there at the front by Veeratunga, who replaced his line out. And that's an offside pickup. Dilshan now to take over the kicking duties, but no, Niranjan says, hang on, that's my job. And that's a good punt. Maul well defended there by Isipathana. They've got their substitutes on now, so the chance for them to gain some experience. Good flat ball to ANU Pereira. And the breakdown, not really well contested there. Isipathana seemed to go to ground, and that's a great ball out to Ayesh Mantha, who scores. Brilliant try. An excellent run by the second row forward. They had numbers, Science College. They noticed that on the blind side. They came back to where they started from. And Ayush Mantha scores a brilliant try. And his feet are far too quick for a second rower there. Ended up like a winger's try in the end. That's why I was confused for a moment. But a superb try from the second rower who's done his bit today, trying to steal the ball at line-out time. And one thing that will concern the Isipathana coaches, despite the fact that they won this game, is the fact that their defense has not been as solid as they would like. They've already conceded 20 points, with maybe 2 more to come. Niranjan for the 2. And it's no good this time. So Isipathana have conceded 3 tries. 2 to Lasindu Ishan, 1 to Ayush Mantha. And with 14 men on the park, the captain will be happy that his team have managed to secure another try. He'll be hoping for 1 more consolation before they sign off. And Isipathana will be hoping to underscore their dominance with 1 for the road. Kongahawatta, nice hanging kick. Dilshan has no option but to thump this down the throat of Omalka Gunaratne. Gunaratne now puts a little chip in, but it's out on the full. Gunaratne showing that Zinzan Brook is not the only man who can kick at number 8. But having a wry smile to himself as he jogs back to his position. Would have been a spectacular kick if he could have collected it. And that ball goes to the front. Madhu Madhava with a box kick. A good box kick actually. Rohan heading on after it. Gunaratne goes to ground and has to hold on to it, and Rohan goes in after that ball. Omalka Gunaratne had to hold on to it for dear life. He'll be lucky to escape without a yellow card there. Nice swivel out of the tackle by the number 21, Fonseca. And now Niranjan goes to ground. It's still available from Madhu Madhava, who's monstered in the tackle there. Lifted up off the ground, but the referee says that the Isipathana defensive line was offside. And here's Chatura, who's Dilshan rather. Dilshan hammered in a tackle by Veerasinghe and loses the ball forward. Good tackle from Veerasinghe in defense. A good hard hit. And Rehan Silva gratefully thumps it to touch, but they've got the penalty as well for offside. So exciting moments here in the final few minutes of the clock tick down. Don't forget you can follow all the action. If you can't catch it live, you can watch the replays, and you know exactly where to find them if you follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Google+. Just search for ThePapare.com. That's ThePapare.com, ThePapare.com. And you'll find all the action you need to find whenever you want it. Kongahawatta. On the left touchline. One there by Chatra Dilshan, who shows that he's a genuine line-out option. They'll need all those options against Trinity and Royal. Barging that maul forward. And here's Kongahawatta to Kushan Indunil. He's had a good game today. Chamod also has had a great game. And Gallage herring around the middle. Oh, and Kushan Indunil can't hold on to the inside pass. He goes over to score. And the referee's given the try. It looked for all money that there was a knock on there. That Kushan Indunil had left it behind. But the referee ruling that went backwards. And Isipathana very happy to get that try. Chamod Fernando has been really good today. It's a real toss-up for the man of the match because it's been an outstanding performance from Veerasinghe, who's had 2 tries today. Chamod Fernando scored a try and also created a few. He's had a lot of ball. Punchiheva has done well too. Few substitutions being made in the last stages of this game from Isipathana. And once again, a lovely kick from Isuru Kongahawatta. You have to ask yourself where these kicks were in the first half of the season. Their scoreboard could have read at least 20% more if they'd been able to put these kicks on. 45 points they've scored today. And several of them, at least 12 of them, have been from excellent kicks from Isuru Kongahawatta. Nice hanging kick, but doesn't go the 10 meters. Claimed by Gallage. No, not Gallage, I'm sorry. It's the replacement winger. Kushan Indunil to Chamod Fernando. Chamod looks for the inside ball, but it comes off the hand of the defender. And here's Gunaratna. Gunaratna with a beautiful offload to Punchiheva. Kushan Indunil puts the ball to his boot. Lasin Divishan makes his way back onto the park. Kara, the captain as he is called, Lasin Divishan Karunathilaka. Lead his team through the final rites of this game. Madhu Madhava to feed. And taken quickly from the back. Lasin Divishan. Dylan Silva not held in the tackle but monstered in the end by Columbage. Mapitigama, in fact, who had come across nicely in defense. Here's Laksara. The number 8 hasn't had much ball carrying today. Nice to see Dylan Silva getting a run. He's been kept on ice today most of the time. Ball hasn't really gone out to him. Niranjan puts the kick, but well read by Rehan Silva, who puts the kick across for Madhu Madhava to chase backwards. And Fonseca will be the first man there. He dives on it in goal and will give his team a 22-meter dropout. Lasin Divishan here takes the 22-meter dropout and thunders forward. Here's Niranjan. Looks for the long ball out Pereira sets it up in midfield. Now Madhu Madhava again. Niranjan. Quick ball out to Rohan, but Madhuranga, in fact, on that left wing, but he can't find the ball. And now 4 replacements, so they're coming on en masse. 5 replacements, in fact, for Isipathana. They've emptied their bench. Ramaratna, Padmasanka, Ruberu, and Ekanayaka all going on to the park. And Alavatagoda, Gunaratna, Rehan Silva, everyone off. Nishal Desaka, only man that stayed on the park in the forwards looks to be Chatura Dilshan. And Isuru Gongawata still directing traffic. That ball was not straight, says the referee. It's a tough call. Nishal Desaka is the man on the right walking into the picture right now. Number 2. Thinks it wasn't forward. Madhusankar comes onto the park for Science College, replacing Madhu Madhava. And this very junior pack for Isipathana will now have to do a bit of work with the senior men from Science. Ruberu replaces Konga Avato off your screen. And don't forget that these juniors all started with ThePapare as well. Beautifully won there. As Chatura Dilshan stands in the midfield pod, gives it free to Kushan Indranil. He has to withstand the traffic. Manages to get out to Chamut Fernando, who probably is my man of the match today. Chatura Dilshan stepping back in field, finally getting a chance to run. Here's Ruberu, Nishal Desaka, Kushan Indranil. Thundering forward there is the young man Ekanayaka. But holding on, says the ref. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. It's 45 points to 20. Science College fought bravely in the first half, but they just couldn't stop this green wave. A brilliant performance in defense from Science, even though they conceded a huge amount of tries. And Isipathana have shown that they are still the team to beat. 45 points to 20 is how it finishes. Chamut Fernando having an outstanding game in the number 13 jersey. And Isuru Kongahabata's conversions from difficult angles, also a notable point to talk of today in this Isipathana performance. But another complete performance and an entertaining game of rugby here on our hands. We had a very entertaining game yesterday between Royal and St. Peter's, and another game full of running rugby. 11 tries yesterday, and today we've seen quite a few tries as well. Most of them, unfortunately, scored by Isipathana. If you are a Science College fan, the home crowd not too happy about something. But it seems like it's a storm in the teacup, nothing to worry about. As we come to an end of this weekend's rugby, we'll bring you our roundup, of course, during the course of the week. 45 points to 20 is how it finishes at Mount Lavinia between Science College and Isipathana College. Isipathana remain unbeaten and look like they're heading for a title. The one stumbling block that stands in their way looks to be Royal College. We'll bring you that action in a couple of weeks' time. But before that, we've got plenty more coming up, sharing the passion with you all here on ThePapare.com. We'll be back next week.
This probably isn't your first shave. You already have your first razor. You know how to shave. So we won't waste your time telling you to wash with warm water before putting on a generous layer of shave gel. Instead, we'll show you how to do other things, like how to appreciate art. And since this isn't your first shave, we wouldn't dream of telling you that our razors are designed to go with and against the grain.
Unfortunately
You
scored
already know
by
that. So we'll show you how to negotiate. And since this isn't your first shave, we'd never in a million years have to tell you to rinse with cold water to refresh your face. Not a chance. Instead, we'll show you how to accept an award. And we're definitely not going to end this video with a girl admiring our guy's smooth shave. No way. But we will show you this beautiful woman just for the heck of it. This isn't your first how to shave video or your first razor, but they're both likely your first real ones. This probably isn't your first shave. You already have your first razor. You know how to shave. So we won't waste your time telling you to wash with warm water before putting on a generous layer of shave gel. Instead, we'll show you how to do other things, like how to appreciate art. And since this isn't your first shave, we wouldn't dream of telling you that our razors are designed to go with and against the grain. You already know that. So we'll show you how to negotiate. And since this isn't your first shave, we'd never in a million years have to tell you to rinse with cold water to refresh your face. Not a chance. Instead, we'll show you how to accept an award. And we're definitely not going to end this video with a girl admiring our guy's smooth shave. No way. But we will show you this beautiful woman just for the heck of it. This isn't your first how to shave video or your first razor, but they're both likely your first real ones.